Ah dear. Hello everybody. How are we all doing? I don't know how we're doing. That's the question. One sec. Because some idiot left the toilet door open. That idiot was me, as you probably realised. Hello. Is that the middle? That's the middle. God. So, going to add a little disclaimer in that I am absolutely exhausted today. Started work at 8 a.m. because I was working on an event in Spain, specifically MotoGP. I handed that over to someone at 11 o'clock, and then it was on to a studio show. Turns out, studio shows very much all-day jobs. So I think I did 15 hours today, which is tiring, but you know what? That was one of the most fun things I've done for quite some time. Big fan of that. And I want to do it more. If that's a thing that we will be able to do more. That was fantastic. But yeah, basically, as a result of that, I missed out on everything Leeds related today. Also, how's the mic? Is the mic coming through okay? I can't tell because I can't hear me. But yeah, let me know various like rumors and things like that, and then we'll discuss them. And I think that could be quite fun. The mic is fine. And dabby dozy. The fun part is it's a microphone I've not used on any streams before, which is fun and invites a whole new range of challenges, doesn't it? Hello, Michael. Good evening, Inky. Good evening, John. You did make it in time, Marcus. And hello, Gareth. Also, good evening, Lodi, and hi, Paul. How's things? Are we really going to sign Jack Clarke? I'd love it if we do, but I can't see it. I think he's probably on the more expensive side. And I can't remember who I was talking to at the time, but I think my stance on Clarke is he'd be very expensive because we're signing from a fellow championship club, which is in itself a little bit tough because they're going to charge more because they would be selling to like a direct rival, and clubs don't want to do that. And at the same time, if you're looking across Europe, there are plenty of players of Jack Clarke's level that you could get for less than you could sign Jack Clarke for. I think the number that they're asking for was something like £20 million. It's like, we don't really want to be spending 20 million quid on Jack Clarke. Number might be lower, you never know, but it's kind of hard to say. I wouldn't hugely want us to be spending that much on him because, yeah, it's tough. Anyway, I'm going to try and find more of what I can about today's Leeds United news because I've missed absolutely everything because I've been stuck in a cramped little studio in Brentford all day. So let's have a look. Alan Road makes unwanted Magic Weekend history with attendance figure revealed. I guess that's going to be good, but also it's rugby, so we don't really care that much. Leeds eyeing move for £25 million super talent who scored 15 goals last season. That sounds quite a bit like Jack Clarke, doesn't it? Jack Clarke, yep. Who was the reporter, or are we just saying a reporter said? Mike McGrath of the Telegraph. I think if it's being reported by the likes of Mike McGrath, it feels like there's probably something bubbling under the surface with that one. I don't know whether I'd say whether or not that is going to happen because I probably land towards the side of a bit tough for us to get done. But I don't know. Let's have a look at what is said in the article. He was dubbed as a super talent by Tony Mowbray. Last 2 years of his contracts are probable sell. But but also Premier League clubs are interested in him, which makes it quite tough for us. Yeah, on this, I've seen the tweet just now. I think my thought is it's safe journalist talk. They don't want to build up hype if it might not necessarily be there, and they don't want to take too many risks in terms of like putting something out there. So it's a little bit of it's a safety phrasing, I think. Hello, Piglet. Who will we throw the ball to now Rutter is gone? I'd quite like Aronson as a 10. I know that that's like not strictly the answer to the question, but Big Bren in the 10 would be a difference maker, I think. And it would mean that we don't necessarily need Siege or Pirro there anymore, which would be quite nice. There is also this, yeah. Is it a I know something you don't know kind of thing? I don't think so. I think it's more of it's a way of phrasing that there's interest without like trying to get fans too excited. Because if you do that, then everyone will be like, have you got a Jack Clarke update? And odds are probably don't have a Jack Clarke update because like being aware of a player can be as slim as asking an agent, hi, are there any release clauses? Is there anything that make doing a deal easier? Are you interested in a move? Simplifies things a little bit. Whereas if you just straight up say, Leeds are going to try and sign person, that doesn't really help the argument, I don't think. It makes things a bit tougher for like everyone involved. All right, let's have a look at some of the other news stories and bits. This is not going to be a long stream, just to let you know. Thank you very much, Danny. I appreciate it. Also, if you haven't yet, I'd appreciate you popping a like on the stream, just to sort of, we've got to pump those rookie numbers up, or whatever the phrasing is. Yes, it's not going to be a super long one, because, as mentioned, exhausted. Given Farke has stated openly his requirements for new signings and the 49ers don't deliver, what does that say about their confidence in him? That doesn't say anything about their confidence in him, because, I mean, the window's not quite done. So we could still probably expect at least some signings. And if anything, it's more, I think, indicative of Farke's confidence in the 49ers. It's more of a can't really do this without a squad, lads, kind of feeling, in my opinion. But I don't know. Makes things a little bit tough. How to Farke study previous match and still not see Joel so bad? I think it's more an option of not an option. Oh Christ. More a case of yes, he might recognise that Joel isn't great, but he also doesn't see who is necessarily better right now. Also, I'm quite mad because I can tell that a housekeeping person's been through whilst I've been out, and it means that my lighting is now wrong. So this side of my face is darker than this side of my face. It's like I put time into that yesterday, and I kept the lamp there on purpose, and yet it moved. We're doing a long stream or a quick chat. I need therapy. Sorry, you answered before I typed it. I'll sit down, watch, and chill with you. Yeah, it's not going to be the longest. Fun fact, though, I'm fairly sure that a Twitch streamer now owes me quite a large sum of money based on a little bet that we had, which is nice. Am I allowed to publish? I'll ask and see if I'm allowed to post that, because I think that could be quite fun. How do I keep up with the good work? I will do my best to. Thank you very much. All right, let's have a look at other bits of Leeds news. I'm guessing it's been a quiet one. Why would you say the word sleepy? Now I feel more sleepy. Update given on Leeds' PSR position following summer activity. The PSR position will be completely fine, let's be honest. What broadcast was Pieface on? Right, so it was because I work for DAZN. I've mentioned this a few times. And DAZN have the international television rights for the Esports World Cup. Now, most people are watching on Twitch, most people are watching on YouTube. Which is a shame for us. So we thought, let's do something different and weird. We instead decided to run a watch party with Pieface, with Danny Aarons, and with AJ3, with a bunch of forfeits and fun stuff like that. And that was the broadcast that he was on, and that's why you will have seen from my tweet the fact that he found himself as a sort of part-time Spurs fan in some nice Arsenal pyjamas, which was good. Let's see if there's any more bits I can like actually say. I'll just do a very quick screen share just to show it. Bish, Bush, and Bosh. There we go. Apologies, no stream tonight. Only just leaving London now to head home, but I'll be back on tomorrow. To make up for it, here's me in an Arsenal pyjama set. And I'm a big fan of the bit here. That's the look of a man that lost a big. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He made the wrong prediction, which was very funny to me. We never had ITKs. I mean, we've got people that sort of allude to things, but they never like try to say what's going on. And it's like, well, that's kind of the point of an ITK. They say what's happening because they are in the know, but then if they don't say what's happening, then that's kind of infuriating. I feel like we're going to sign Todd Cantwell this week. I heard some things on Todd Cantwell that tells me that that isn't going to happen. Basically, past fallout with Daniel Farke makes that very, very, very tough. I can't see that one happening. What's the latest with Jack Clarke? I am not fully aware. As far as I've been able to see, the most recent update was basically that we have some sort of interest in him. He does look like he'll be too expensive. It looks like the sort of 25 million quid sort of territory. But it's fine enough, isn't it? I don't think we'll do Jack Clarke. I think we'll pick one of the other options that is on the market. Whether that's from Europe, whether that's from the Championship, I don't think it'll be as high as £25 million. That would be bonkers from us, I think. Is what I was looking at. I don't know. Is it even possible to sign 4 players in 13 days? Yes. If I remember right, someone mentioned to me that we signed like 8 players in 6 days last season, which if you're moving quickly, it can happen. You just need to be very, very quick. And if you're not quick, then you messed up, is basically the gist. No, there's Pieface griddying. What other little clips have we got? That one, but that's not really usable, but it's fine. Statement 1 million signing is all we'll get. I don't think so. I think we'll get a little bit more than that. Why waste time talking about signings when it's obvious Farke isn't up to the job? Right. So, Clive, what do you do as a job? Just in general, or what does someone give me an example of a job? And then we'll talk through it. But I think there's a bit of discussion here that could be good to have. Just because we've sold 4 players doesn't mean we have to buy 4 players. Just saying, I think we probably need 4 or more. I'll be completely honest with you. Because, Jesus, it's not great. Football coach. Good. Okay, I'll rephrase it like this then. If you are a football coach, and I've been through this exact thing, I was sat right here when I did it. And if you are having to sell your best player, your best young star that could be fantastic for the future, and third, your most creative, fun player that brings a happy vibe to the squad, is it really going to be that easy to just, wow, you're promoted? No. Or should we instead be looking at what's actually happened this season so far, which is we've drawn 3-3 on the first day of the season without having replaced said wonder kid and top scorer. Then, second match of the season, hammered by Borough. Fine. Sure. However, you've got to consider that the squad knew that one of their favourite people was leaving because Georgie is happy puppy. No, that happened last season. Okay, that's fine. Last season do be in the past, though. So if you want to sack someone right now for what happened a year ago and he didn't get sacked for then, iffy logic. Anyway, deadline day will be tricky. We may buy and Nonto may go. Oh, God, I'm going to do a deadline day stream this summer, and it's going to be a fun adventure because they're always moderately nightmarish. You always got to keep the door open for new talent coming through from the youth squad. I think we are doing. I think that's sort of going to be Charlie Crew's role. He's going to be rotating in and rotating out depending on what we need. Don't know how much football I'll see, but probably a bit if we keep not replacing people, because that could develop into a little bit of a problem. During Sunderland versus Sheffield Wednesday game, Sky comes quoted Joe Clarke may or may not be going, but no one's matched Sunderland's asking price. So one of the teams leads not matching the price. It's very, very hard to match that price, that £25 million price. I don't know if we'll do that. Streaming every day until Leeds do what? Lose in the league. Previously, it was until Leeds lose. And then within a couple of days of starting that, Leeds lost. So I was like, you know what, this isn't really a challenge. Okay, on this one, there are only, if I remember the stat right, 2 out of the last 18 seasons where 90 points wouldn't have gotten you promoted. That was in addition to a fucking dire August in which we got basically no points because we had no idea what our score was. So, I mean, if we're talking having a target at the start of the season, said target would have been 90 points, kind of reached it. That sort of demonstrates some quality, you know? You can't really be a Dave Hockaday and get 90 points in the championship, can you? No. And that ability to coach players won't have just disintegrated in no time at all. I'm firmly in the spot of shit happens. That's not his quality as a coach. What is it then? Because if getting results isn't your quality as a coach, what is the quality of a coach? Like, is Pep Guardiola not a good coach? Because, I mean, he gets lots of points every season. That one season that Liverpool got something like 97 points in the Premier League but didn't win the title, was Klopp a crap coach that season? No. Because that's not how it works. Thought 49ers would have had signings lined up for a player exits, probably in the worst position as we can look desperate to fill positions. Yes, that could be bad. A lot of issues that I think we might end up with will be based on the fact that we've not sorted out replacements in advance. So other clubs will sign a player and then they will sell because that means you're a little bit more company. Whereas, where did that sentence go? I don't know. Yeah, whereas what we've done is we've sold and then we've gone, right, okay, now we buy someone. And that, it's risky in its own way. Both of them are risky routes, but this is a little bit of a potentially bigger one. Already 1 point ahead of last season. We managed 93 decent signings. We paid it. Are we 1 point ahead of last season? Oi? Are you sure? Oh. Squad well left with kind of makes me think Birmingham away last season. Why not? Birmingham away bad is the good thing. Like, we've not got a Jamie Shackleton having to play on the right wing, Paveda in the 10. We're not that screwed yet. Right, I guess we got 2 points in the first two championship games last season. First two championship this season, sorry. Oh yeah, fair. We're a point ahead. And we drew 1-1 with West Brom last time round. That was at home though, so slightly different. Farke just plays on Sky before the West Brom game as if he was making do with what he had, but you could tell he was hanging on a new players were to come in. Yeah, I think players are to come in because it would be wild to say that we're not going to sign any more players at this point. Is this a regular slot for you, Joe? It's not meant to be. Basically, the last 2 days I've been down in London working throughout the day, which means that the only time I've had at all is now. So, I don't know. If people like the slot, I can try and stick to it, but it feels like it'd be a quite tricky one to do. I don't know. Hoping Leeds Constant careers are very busy this week and next. Oh, I hope so. That'd be so nice. Not a lot of excuses now. They've just received 40 million for Rutte. They need to spend. I know PSR's there, but we've sold a lot. Yeah, I mean PSR isn't going to be a problem for us this season, in the slightest. I think we will see spending. I don't know the extent to which we will, but I think we will sign players. Absolutely. Yeah, we take it. Yeah, we'll be worse off if we don't spend, because, I mean, even financially, like, promotion is worth so much cash. It's wild. It's great. I don't know. You don't have all the money you get for sold players to spend. Depends on how you want to put it down on PSL. Like, the buying club doesn't necessarily need to give you all that money immediately, but because you will be effectively guaranteed to receive that money in the case of a release clause, you can then effectively say, okay, so that's going on this year's accounts, even though it's being paid over 3 years, and then you can spend that. But it depends on how you sort of account. We'll get players, but they need to be automatic starter quality. That would be ideal, I think. Yeah. If we don't go up this year, next year, stronger Prem teams will be joining the league. That's also a problem. Would you take Clarke back or too expensive? I think I'd take him if it wasn't the £25 million figure, because I'm sure there's going to be better players that we can get cheaper. Also, on this, I do like to talk to like all of the people in the comments. But what made Bielsa a good coach is the fact that he was a tactical expert. His man management wasn't really there. He didn't tend to talk to the players to an extent. I think like he's relatively incapable of like the person-to-person stuff, but tactically really clever. Farke, I think, is tactically reasonably clever. He's not on the Bielsa level, obviously, but his man management is vastly better. Players would come up playing time after others going, if that's a thing for those potential signings. Yeah, I mean, people are going to want to come to play football. Left back is the one position where I don't think that's necessary, really, because I think Farke is going to be our starting left back. So we sort of want someone a little bit younger that can do the rotational stuff instead. Solo Twitch party. Baby Zebra's hiding over on Twitch. If you have a Twitch account, by the way, hop over to my Twitch and give me a follow. That'd be appreciated. I don't know how many followers I'm at right now, but it's some. That's quite nice. Rather us being an Aston Villa coming down with a deduction than being a mid-table championship club for years again. There's a healthy middle ground to find, though, you know. You don't need to be one or the other. After a great run in pre-season, my expectations were raised and my thoughts were in the balance. Yeah, I think the only time we can really make predictions is end of the window at this point. Because we don't know who's going to go, we don't know who's going to stay. It's all very, very tough and complex and stuff. Checked release clause activated, so I don't know if he has a release clause. And if he does, I don't know if we'd be the ones to hit it. That's the confusing bit. Hiding. I mean, you're the only one in the Twitch chat, so it counts. I suppose that we also had and has very good relationships individually with players and all who played under him, personally revere him bar Pontus. Yeah, but you've also got interview after interview of people saying like he's relatively distant compared to other managers. So like, whilst I feel like there is that personal connection there, the fact that that famous video of Bielsa running over to give Bamford a hug, and everyone is like, "That's really right. He never does that." Is like, yeah, I think it's a different type of man manager. Debris has Dunderland, nice. Clarke won't want to leave them to come with the spot or a mess. It depends, I guess. Like, I guess there's some appeal. But... Joe worked out there was only approximately 30 million spent, even though it seems like there was 140. I don't know myself. I don't know how he's got to that number. But, what are you talking about? Farke falls out with his player all the time. No takes responsibility. The players love Bielsa. Sorry. This is. I'm gonna be as kind as I can here, Clive, but that is thick as pig shit. Do you not literally against Middlesbrough in terms of taking responsibility? He was like, "Yeah, you can't put this on the players. That's on me." That was hold on, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. That was 4 days ago, and you've just forgotten. Did that not happen? Because it did. And I feel like everyone else sort of remembered that. But come on, Clive. Let's. Also, why would I be parroting what someone told the Daily Mail? When have I ever given you the Daily Mail vibe? That was the first time I did it. No, I fucking wasn't. I had all through last season as well. Just on the list of people that is currently like, yeah, well, last season I wanted Farke out, so this season I also do, and I'm going to make up reasons if it comes to it. No need. You don't have to. You could just chill. Things are okay. Farke didn't personally like shoot a baby in the head. Everything's all right. Breathe. Look at it from more of a sort of objective angle rather than the subjective, you're already invested in this narrative position, you know? This is a good question. Why is it all of a sudden cool to slag off Farke even play down his coaching credentials? He is many times promoted from the Championship. But that counts for nothing, I guess, in the Championship, because reasons I don't know. Wild. Freudian slip. Nah, not quite. I've just it's the tired, I'll be honest. I think the 49ers will bring Premier League 11 players that are on the fringe of top scores, like Fabio Vieira or Reece Nelson at Arsenal. That'd be a good kind of signing, I think. Who knows? It's kind of weird. Last week we were faced to go up and have the best measure this week. Farke out promotion gone. Yeah, I mean losing Rutter does a lot of that, but like, I just want to ask the people saying that like, if you lose Georgie and then don't get promoted by like a point, are you blaming Daniel Farke for that one if we don't get a direct replacement, or are we accepting that if you lose your best players, it's quite hard to be a very good team? Don't go comparing him to Steve Bruce, you tit. You know that's not a fair comparison. Come on. Let's not take the piss. But as I mentioned, very much a tired boy. So I'm gonna hop over to questions corner for a bit. So if anyone's got any questions, chuck them in the chat and we'll just discuss them a little bit. And that'd be nice. To the Twitch chat, I wouldn't bother. I'm just going to ignore it. The issue of poor subs has followed Farke around and has come to fruition at Leeds. Bruiser stubbornness is a concern over the bruising correct. Adverts. Oh, I didn't do it. What? Oh, no, that's so I can be verified on the partnered YouTube subreddit. That's the reason why. Why are you so nice, Joe? Because I've always had the take of if you're mean, then you just sort of leave the world to be a little bit meaner. That's not fun. It's no good. Video idea this week, mostly newsy stuff. I think I've not got a ton of things planned purely because I don't know what sort of direction work's going to be going at the moment. Well, I do. It's going to be going in the busy direction, so it's quite hard to like plan stuff, you know. And would you prefer a number 10 or a left back? 10. We've got a starting left back. I guess we've got a starting 10, but he's not very good. How long do we give it with Joseph up top before we change it again? Right, this is... because I think the moment you even suggest starting Pat Bamford, everyone loses their minds. Also, I'm just going to pop in the YouTube chat. That's my Twitch. So if you want to hop over there and drop a follow, that'd be really appreciated. Thank you very much, amigos. Very, very kind. Would Corney be an option? I've seen him discussed. I don't think he'd be a good signing. Pirro's best role would be, I think, a second striker in a 4-4-2. But no one plays in a 4-4-2. So who knows? We sort of did a little bit when we were out of possession yesterday, but it wasn't like such a constant thing, you know. If you don't go up this season, will you still want Farke in charge next season? It depends on why we don't go up. If it's very clearly, like if from here we do officially lose Repair and we don't make any new signings, I'm not going to be too mad if we come third. You know, like that is an under-strength squad. So if we come third, fourth by a couple of points, I'm not going to mind that much. I'm not going to demand heads because someone that didn't have all the right resources didn't do the job in the way that we want, because that's basically impossible. Ooh, the safe is really warm again. Why is that safe so warm? But yeah, that's the general vibe I've got at the moment. Do we need another number 9? I don't think so. We've already got 3 players that do that, and Joffy. So I think it's a bit... Yeah. Would you play Paddy with Pirro up top? That's not the worst idea. I do want to see Bamford and Joseph as a pair at some point. That could be fun. And you can't be critical of attacking players when a manager sets you up like a lower knee team in the cup. Right. Jesus fucking Christ. We scored 3 against Portsmouth. We vastly out-XG'd them. Like, vastly. By a mile. Last season, we were scoring for fun. But, like, what? I'm fairly sure you can critique attacking players a lot of the time. dependent on things that are non-system based. Jesus. If we don't replace the players and we finish 8th, then yeah, maybe. Because I think this is a squad that should probably be playoffs. I didn't see anything wrong with Joseph besides one part touching get no service at all. Yeah, okay. No one ever made excuses for Bielsa. Many people made excuses for Bielsa. And you know what? They were valid. Said excuses being like in the very first fucking season when we didn't go up under Marcelo Bielsa, everyone was like, we've not gone up, but I want him to stay because we had fun. And that was okay for everyone back then. But sure, well. I'm talking about West Brom. Yeah, because the aim against West Brom was don't lose the game. Because it's easy to drop points against West Brom, and if you can avoid dropping points against West Brom when your squad is in disarray, well done, you've done the job. I'm not critiquing the attacking players for playing in a more defensive system. Because the goal was don't lose, and then for the final half an hour we can go for it. The only slight issue I've got is that Mateo Joseph didn't attempt any dribbles, for example. So it shows that maybe he wasn't as involved in the match, whereas Bamford attempted 2, succeeded in 1. But by that point, the system had changed. So you need to bring that into account, I think. What quality do you see in Bamford? I see the fact that from New Year's Day until the middle of April last season, when Pat Bamford started, we won. That's a long-ass streak. It's a long streak. How's Farke lowered standards? Have people forgotten Big Sam, Javi Gracia, and Big Jesse, the used car salesman? I mean, Jesse lowered the standard so much that everyone was like, oh, maybe Michael Scubala's the saviour. That's how low the bar can be. So let's think a bit, shall we? Thank you very much, Paul Piglet. I appreciate that. And the goal is to not make you sad, old man, but make you happy, old man. Do you think the passing back all the time is instructions from Farke? I think it was to an extent this weekend, but that was primarily because we saw what happened against Borough. Against Borough, we played really aggressive, and that meant that we were wide open at the back because when we conceded, it was counter after counter after counter after counter after counter. So it feels like this weekend the idea was, well, we can counter, but at the same time, you don't want to be wide open. So a lot of those counter-attacks paused and was like, right, okay, let's have some structure here, shall we? And then we did, and things were okay. Basically this. You set up not to lose, and that's okay. That's okay when your squad is being sort of torn apart under you because you need to be a little bit safe and secure and sound and stuff. Me, Farke doesn't get in the players with the players we have right now, excluding Rotary, should be sacked. Should have gone last season. If we don't, this season will be ruined. Yeah, it won't be great. I think at the very least you're after the playoffs, but I'm very much hoping for up. That'd be nice. No offense to people here, but why are there so many antiquated thinking Leeds fans compared to other teams? I don't know. I don't know. Very few people suggested 4-4-2 hoofball at the very least, which is fine enough. If the fans are not to panic so early in the season, why is it okay for the manager to panic and show up? Right, hold on. Hold the fuck up. Right. Scrolly. To quote, Farke's in-game management is the worst I've seen in 33 years of following football. He's like a teenager playing FIFA. Now, question for you. Is it or is it not tactically astute to think, let's play a little bit more defensive and protect our net whilst our squad is falling apart and we've not got replacements in? Or would you rather just say, you know what, we will do the teenager playing FIFA thing, 3 at the back, 7 up top, go. That worked okay-ish at points last season because teams were sitting back relatively against us. West Brom won't do that, and West Brom are more than capable of winning that match against us. What your issue isn't that, and I'm going to quote you here, the manager panicking, which it isn't. It's basic thinking. But your issue is the fact that we didn't go up last season. You personally have demanded that we sack Daniel Farke. They didn't do that, and you're holding a grudge. That's what it is. That's it. Where are we? It's moving too fast. Most important thing for the team and moving forward is to keep a clean sheet. I think so. I think that's keeping a clean sheet in that last match was huge because it gives you something more solid to sort of build upon. But yeah, it's about going forward from that point, I think, and learning the direction we're going into. Yeah, basically, keeping clean sheets will get you promoted in the end. And if we're panicking about the fact that sometimes we defend a bit, come on, screw your head on a little bit. That'd be quite good. I'm confident for Friday, to be honest. I'm feeling okay about it, to be honest with you. But what I am going to do, first, I'm going to say, if you've not liked the stream yet, I'd hugely appreciate if you could. I'm aiming for that nice, 50 like floor, if we can. So that'd be hugely appreciated if you haven't. And I believe I'm going to do a little bit more questions corner. We'll do 3 more. And then we shall finish the stream up because, my God, the moment my head hits a pillow, I'm going to fall asleep. And yeah. And I've got to write a report on that event tomorrow. Oh dear. Oh, and I've got to edit highlights. I don't want to do it. All right, anyway. I'll do the next 3 questions that pop in from this point. And I'll answer them quick fire styly, and then I think I'll call the stream there if that's okay with you guys. Oh, but at the same time, I'm looking at my analytics and I'm thinking, do I want to try and hit that 6-minute average view duration? Question 1. Did you meet Pieface today? I did. I basically wrote the show that he was on for DAZN, which was very fun. I'll see if I can put a highlights package together at some point in the near future and see if I'm allowed to share it about a little bit. When is my next walk or run? I do not know. It will be in an extended period of time, purely because I like leaving a gap between the charity events, purely because if you go charity thing, eventually people stop giving a shit. So I'm thinking next year might not even be a walk or run. I've got something else potentially in the pipeline, but we'll see. Hello, George. Glad you're recovering. Not glad that it's slowly, but you will get there in the end. Got a Farke mustache or learn the piano like Bamford. You see, at the moment, the way my facial hair works is the only thing I can grow as a mustache, which is sad because I'm like a beard, but no. So I go piano like Bamford because he feels like the kind of guy that could casually be like, yeah, you want me to do a concert? I'll do a concert. It's good stuff. Kept a clean sheet, didn't it? Nice 24-hour stream with guests. Oh. 24-hour streams are hard, man. maybe something similar. That could be fun. But we'll find out. Was it the game against Borough in the front four starting no movement, hence no one to pass to? That's a problem as well. Yeah. Sorry, this is basic, but you're called Joe Blackburn because you live there. I'm called Joe Blackburn because that's my name. I was born/raised in Leeds. At the age of 18, I moved to uni in Lancaster, and then 3 years later, I moved to Blackpool to live with my now wife, which is the story. It's 24-hour stream, but it's just watching Leeds play under Neil Warnock. I think that is the worst thing you could possibly subject a person to. So I might not do that to myself. That sounds like a nightmare. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. So, if you haven't yet, I'd usually appreciate you popping a like on the stream. Subscribe if you're not yet. I'm going to keep on pushing that and see how high the numbers can go. I'm going to not run that advert because it feels a little bit pointless now. You can even become a channel member. It's 99p for a month, and you get early access to like all the videos that I pre-record. So the one I put out this morning, I recorded last night after the stream. I think I edited it down at like 1 a.m, something daft like that. But that was that was fun. And yeah, like, subscribe, become a channel member, all that fun stuff. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Except Wayne has sent a super sticker. Thank you very much, Wayne. I appreciate that. Anyway, I'll have to see you later. Toodaloo. If the stream wants to end, it doesn't like the Wi-Fi here. Oh dear. Come on, there we go.